In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the principles of landing page design and elements you should consider using in your next landing page design project. Let's jump in. So why is landing page design important? So far in my last videos, we have talked about how you should use landing pages and what are the differences between a landing page and a home page. But now we need to focus on some of the aesthetics of a landing page. The look and feel is quite important in building trust and offering visitors a great user experience. In my experience, copy should come first and then design. But that doesn't mean you should compromise on the quality of how your landing page looks. As a matter of fact, you should make sure your landing page is pixel perfect. When visitors find broken or unstyled elements on your page, they subconsciously doubt the brand. This mistrust gets further aggravated if the page is hard to navigate or use. Oftentimes, I see designers coming up with really cool visual designs. However, sometimes, although these designs look pretty, but they're not very functional. Visitors have to guess what elements are clickable and what to do next. Your aim should be to think about your audience first and plan your landing page design based on your target user persona. Let's cover some of the core principles which will help you in designing high-quality landing pages. I really like this quote from Kepler. You should rank elements on your website based on your business objectives. If you don't have a specific goal, you can't know what to prioritize. To organize content clearly for users, designers apply a well-known technique called visual hierarchy. It activates the ability of the brain to distinguish objects on the basis of their physical differences, such as size, color, contrast, alignment, etc. In regards to creating landing page copy, for landing pages, there are two aspects important to consider: page scanning patterns and typographic hierarchy. Let's look at them one by one. The first one is the Gutenberg rule. The Gutenberg rule shows how users behave when reading, also known as reading gravity. It's the Western habit of reading left to right and top to bottom. The Gutenberg diagram divides the layout into 4 quadrants. Primary optical area located in the top left, strong fallow area located in the top right, weak fallow area located in the bottom left, and finally terminal area located in the bottom right. I recently applied this principle on a landing page test for one-click cars. As you can see in this control page, the elements were mostly on the left. This version had a click-through rate of 15.42%. In the new variant, I moved the elements to follow the Gutenberg principle. In this version, the page CTR increased to 21.36. If you're thinking of testing your page, try applying the Gutenberg principle on your hero section. The Z pattern layout is beneficial if you have large amounts of content. The Z pattern is simple and effective for designs that follow a storytelling aspect. The Z pattern layout follows the shape of the letter Z. Readers will start in the top left, move horizontally to top right, and then diagonally to the bottom right before finishing off with another horizontal movement to the bottom right. Check out in this example how we use Z pattern for MemberMeister landing page. You can use Z pattern to present important information in a way that the eye will naturally scan. Popularized by the Energy Group's eye tracking study, which recorded more than 200 users who looked at thousands of web pages, in this study the group found out the user's main behavior was fairly consistent across many different sites and tasks. The F pattern is the most common layout for text-heavy websites like blogs and news sites. It's designed to maximize the amount of text on the page and to take advantage of the natural scanning pattern. Here are some things to consider when using F patterns. Start new paragraphs with enticing keywords. Use typography to indicate the importance of text. For example, try bolding keywords within text or increasing the font size. Cover only one key idea per single paragraph. Use bullet points for lists because bullets are skim-friendly. Place CTA buttons to the left and right of the page, where the user will begin and end their horizontal scanning. The right side of a line acts as a pause for readers, giving them some time to think about before they just read. Here's an example where we use the F pattern. Notice how each component is located exactly along the F pattern route where visitors are naturally going to look when viewing this page. As they scroll, the sticky form on the right of the page follows the visitor, so they can easily choose to fill it out whenever they want to. Now let's look at typographic hierarchy. Typographic hierarchy includes different elements such as headlines, subheaders, body copy, call to action elements, etc. Each element has its own typography rule that determines how information is presented in design. For example, headlines. Headlines have a large font size than any other types of copy. They usually appear at the bottom or top of the pages with large margins. Headline typefaces can also include special features such as serifs or sans serifs. According to the research published by Buffer, the ideal length of the headline is about 6 words. Jacob Nielsen also found out in their study that shows that headlines of 5 to 6 words work better. Subheads. Subheads are smaller versions of headline typeface, but still bigger than regular text. Subheadings often appear on the same line as headings. Conventional wisdom says that subheads should be between 70 and 100 characters long. Every word has to be perfect for the subheading to be powerful enough to keep readers reading and make the point succinctly. Body copy. Body copy appears below all the other copy. It's usually set in regular weight and medium size. Body copy may contain additional formatting like italics, underlining, strike through, color changes, etc. Call to action buttons. Call to action buttons are used for directing users towards an action they want them to take. Call to action button styles vary from simple rectangular shapes to more complex icons. The order of these elements within the page determines the visual hierarchy, which means that designers need to pay attention to where each element belongs in relation to others. If you place your call to action above the main heading, people will not notice it because it won't stand out against the background. On the contrary, if you put it next to the headline, it will get lost among the rest of the copy. Now let's look at some of the elements you should consider when designing your landing pages. The first one, highlighting. Just like a highlighter used in schools, you can highlight certain text elements to emphasize them. Here's a great example from Go Student where text elements are highlighted to draw focus. White space improves readability and helps to group elements together. It makes things easier to read and helps people find what they're looking for faster. If there isn't enough spacing, then users may get confused about where something starts and ends. As a rule of thumb, the more distinct elements are from each other, the more white space should be included between them. Finally, white space could improve the most critical elements on a page to stand out. For example, most landing pages have at least one call to action. This could mean clicking on a buy button, for example, or filling out a lead generation form. These are important steps you would like your visitors to take. Surrounding your call to action element with plenty of white space is one of the best ways to draw visitors' eyes right to it. This is especially effective when the call to action itself is also made distinct through unique colors and design. Check out this example from Vectis where we spaced out the elements using white space and also used directional cues. Directional cues on landing pages. Using directional cues like arrows, images of people looking at or pointing to something where you want to draw emphasis. This technique is especially effective when combined with other design techniques such as using large headlines and bold text for call to action. Here is an example in which we use an image of a woman looking in the direction of the call to action up in the hero section. That's it guys, I hope you found this information useful. Using strong design frameworks can help you create better landing pages so you can create better results from your paid campaigns. I wish you the best of luck. Let's keep pushing.